to Happy Mother's Day to all the women in my life who play the role of mom, which is all of you, / play the role of mom in some capacity to someone else other than me, even though y'all know sometimes I need y'all to be my mom. Get me together, pull me together. Happy Monday, Inspire Beauty. I'm really, really, really excited for tonight's call because I think we overcomplicate things in this business a lot, and launches can be a time that we tend to overcomplicate stuff. So tonight it's all about simplifying. I want to simplify to help you get wins. So lots of you have tried and checked out the Fire and Flow workout today. It is officially available. I think we're still waiting on a Vimeo link, which is an easier way if you're newer around here. It's an easier way to gift someone that free sample workout versus having to have somebody who maybe isn't a Beachbody customer yet have to create a free profile and go through all those things. It's just faster to send out the Vimeo link. It is cool, Leah. I'm going to put you in charge of making sure that link gets posted to the team page then. Yes, cool. So it is available now. Perfect. So when you do have people reaching out to you saying that, yes, they would like to try the workout, or as you are reaching out to people, as we'll learn tonight, you will have that Vimeo link to be able to shoot over to people so that they can check it out. All right, a couple of things that I want to announce. Number one, Kristen, do you want to unmute and do a quick announcement about Summit Housing?
All right, ladies. So we are like, I don't even know how many days out, but we are getting close. We're like 2 months, a little over 2 months away. We have 7 rooms booked at the Hilton at the ballpark. So we have lots of slots open. I think we have 12 slots open yet. So if somebody is coming that you know of or is going to be getting their ticket, like make sure that they get in touch with either myself or one of the other leaders so that we can spot them into a room. We don't want anybody left out, obviously. So closing for getting a room with us is going to be June 2nd. So the same cutoff as ranks, because if we need to, we'll need to cancel rooms without penalty. So just remember June 2nd to let us know if you don't have a room yet and you need a spot.
Awesome. Thank you. So yes, we are about 2 months, 9-ish weeks, maybe out from Summit. And if you are, number one, if you are not registered for Summit and you're on the fence about it, or there's just like a little hesitation, I want you to like reach out to not just your coach, but like all the people, because I promise you, every single one of us can give a hesitation we once had before we went to Summit, how we overcame it, but also why we're so stinking grateful we went, regardless of the hesitation or the obstacle that was in our way at that time. Okay. So make sure that what is the book? The Obstacle is the Way. So if you feel like you have an obstacle going into Summit, maybe that's a sign that you need to be there, right? The resistance. What else? Speaking of Summit, rank cutoff for Summit is coming up here at the end of May, top of June. So we're spending the last part of May doing pushes for Emerald in the collab. Okay. So that's going to be housed in there starting Monday. I'm going to make sure that you know what Emerald is. You know how simple it is to go Emerald. Guys, it's actually simpler to go Emerald than it is to hit Success Club. Success Club, you need 3 people. Emerald 2. So you could actually go Emerald and not even hit Success Club this month. That's actually possible. Plus we have a launch that is a coach and PC preferred customer window only. So it's an awesome time to just like rip the Band-Aid and freaking like go for it, because at Summit, we're going to announce the itinerary and everything very soon. But at Summit, there's going to be an Emerald and above dinner on Friday night is what we tentatively believe we're going to be doing it. And you want to be there, right? You want to be there. So Emerald, make that your goal. We're going to be teaching you how to do that. And we've got some awesome calls after this Monday. Ashley's going to be taking the mic next week, firing you guys up, talking about like her valley and her plateau in her business and how she's made a freaking like a switch flipped and a freaking comeback, and she's going to light some fire in you. And then the following week, I'm going to be talking about how to simplify Emerald for the launch. Okay. So you're in good hands. You just need to be present. You got to be present and then willing to take stinking action. So let's talk about that tonight. I'm going to share my screen. No, I'm not. I'm going to pull my slides up first. Like a Magoo, like I've never done this before. Okay, there it is. I am like especially proud of my slides tonight, you guys. I just feel like they've got like a really pretty vibe to them. So I don't know, just humor me. Like, you're like, Brittany, they are gorgeous. We love them. Because I really have some pride in these tonight. Okay, let me just align everything so I can see y'all's faces. Tonight we're talking about the launch of Fire and Flow. But like I said, I want to simplify this for you so that come 2 weeks from now, when the launch happens, you have wins. You don't just have wins, but you have people doing this with you, okay? So a couple program details. I'm not going to get into too much of it because you do have some homework. If you know nothing about Fire and Flow on the Coach Collab, in fact, let me do a new screen share really quick and just show you where this is all housed. On the Level Up Beauties Coach Collab, you'll see that there's guides. And if you scroll all the way down, the newest guide is at the bottom, and it is the Rock Your Fire and Flow launch. And every time that I add something in here that is a best practice from me, I'm giving it directly to you. So you'll notice right here, the Fire and Flow product training video. If you have not watched this yet, put that on your today list someday this week. You're going to want to do that. Okay. Every week, I'm going to be giving you a today list. Now, today list doesn't necessarily mean you have to do it all today. You could, or you could spread it out and do like a little chunk each day. If you don't do anything with this Fire and Flow launch guide and you wait until the day that it launches and then try to do all this, it's going to be overwhelming. I'm trying to give it to you guys in a bite-sized like chunk platter so that it can like really go down smooth. By the time you get to the launch, you're like, wow, I feel so prepared. Okay. So bite-size with me. Yeah. Let me move back to the slides. But that's where you can find all of the information. But just the gist, you guys, it's 2 trainers. We've got Jericho and Elise teaming up for a type of workout that's never been done before. We've never had 2 trainers team up in this way. We've had trainers, do like, we've had Hammer and Chisel, and we've had Jericho team up with Joel and like in Core de Force and things like that. But this one is very different. It's truly taking the stress out of getting fit because it's bringing it into, it's bringing not just into a physical body sort of focus, but we're also really digging into the mindset. So I'm using the word balance, but for me, and when I'm talking to people, I really like to kind of talk about feeling out of alignment, because especially as ladies, when we talk about this idea of balance, I feel like you're never going to have true balance. In different seasons, maybe, you just gave stinking birth to a child, Bridget, I see you, right? And life is a little like the balance is tipped because the scale is tipped because she's like momming really hard, or maybe you just got a new position at work and there's a lot of demands on you in that role. And so the scale tips over to your 9 to 5, or maybe you're a newlywed and you're really focused on your marriage and like the scale is constantly tipping in life. And so if you're trying to always balance everything, to me, that sounds like you're trying to be perfect in every role. And this is a shameless plug for book club, but we talked about it this last Saturday in book club, which is why I think everybody should be on book club, because we talked about this idea that like women especially think that we should do it all. We should wear every hat, do it all, and balance it all perfectly. Unfortunately, that just causes us to burn out. And I feel like this program is coming at an amazing time because we're going to take stress out. We're going to take away burnout from people, and we're going to bring back alignment. And the balance of our routine is that we're going to work our body. Yes. Monday, Wednesday, Friday are fire days with Jericho. Those are going to be your more cardio and strength training days. Okay. And then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday are your flow days with Elise, where you're going to be doing more, you're going to be kind of sculpting your body. You're going to be using a little bit more, like the resistance loops are going to come into play on those days, a lot more conditioning of those fine muscles, maybe that we don't target as often as like the show muscles, right? And then definitely some stretching and some yoga included in those flow days. So it's that balance of body, but also spirit and mindset. And so mindset is a big component of this program. You're going to notice that one of the bonus things that you get when you purchase the completion pack or challenge pack, I'll talk about those pro tips here in a second, but when you purchase your bundle, you will get a 4-week Fire and Flow journal that includes a lot of self-care reflection. Okay. So that's pretty cool. You're also getting 4 bonus workouts if you want to add things on like abs or extra leg work or even an extra stretch. Okay. And if you are a Body subscriber and you have access to a spin bike, there's 4 bonus rides. There's 2 fire rides that can be swapped out on cardio days. And there's actually 2 flow rides that you could swap out on your active recovery flow day. Okay. So tools you get and equipment needed real quick. You get that journal, like I said. In your pack, there's 3 different pack options. There's going to be the Shakeology Challenge Pack or Total Solution Pack. I'm sorry. There's going to be the Go and Glow Total Solution Pack, which comes with collagen, hydrate, energize. Okay. And then there's going to be your Performance Pack that comes with energize and recover. Okay. And then you can always add other things on. If you want to get hydrate, but energize and recover, you can always tag on a hydrate. You can do whatever you need to do. And you can also cater that for your clients and your challengers and your coaches as well when you're creating carts for them. If you're confused at all on how to create a share cart, that training video that I told you about, when I shared the share to the guides tab. Yeah. That training video, the product training video from Beachbody, it's going to walk you through how to create a share cart and all that stuff. So if you're super green in that department, that video is going to be gold for you on how to create share carts for people and all that fun stuff. You also need light, medium, heavy weights, and a mat is suggested. Talking about the packs really quick before I move on into this. So there's the 3 base packs. I want to give you guys, let me stop my share for a second so I can look deep into your eyes. I want you guys to know a couple pro tips from me. Who here has Beachbody On Demand and it's not up for renewal anytime soon? Like your renewal's like in the deep summer, fall, maybe winter. Okay. Almost everybody. Anybody have Beachbody On Demand and your renewal might be like in May or June? Nobody tonight. Okay. So I'm going to talk to the masses, but I will tell you what I would do if your Beachbody On Demand was up for renewal, just in case this scenario comes up while you're working with your people. So for you guys, for those of us who our Beachbody On Demand is not up for renewal anytime soon, you're going to want to get the Total Solution Pack, which we would call a completion pack. Oh my gosh, Amanda, I can't right now. My heart is like, I know, right? Like my heart is so stinking full. Okay. I guess this is why I couldn't look deep into your eyes. Now here I am and I'm like, oh God. Our little babies, our new girls. Okay. A fresh baby. I know you guys, this is like, y'all are inspiring me. Okay. Anyway, so the completion pack, my pro tip is whatever supplement you are wanting to renew in May. For example, if I know that I am running low on Shakeology and I have a Shakeology order coming up in May, what I want to do is I want to cancel that existing Shakeology order. And then when Fire and Flow launches on May 24th, order it with Shakeology. You're going to save money, my friends. That way you're not paying a la carte for Fire and Flow plus your Shakeology for the month. Okay. Different scenario. Maybe your Shakeology already went through, but you've never tried Energize and Recover. And you're like, you know what? I want to try that this month. Cool. Your Shakeology went through. You're still going to keep that going. If that's your choice, awesome. When you go to renew or when you go to purchase Fire and Flow, you can pick a pack that's not Shakeology so you don't have surplus or excess. The other thing I'd suggest too is if you're like, I already kind of do have excess, you could always buy packets because you can give packets away as giveaways or incentives for people or thank yous when people join you. I use them in free groups sometimes when I'm, rewarding people for showing up. Stuff like that. So if ever you do feel like you have a surplus of a supplement, getting the individual packets is helpful because you can use those in giveaway situations. Yeah. Okay, cool. If you have questions on that, drop it in the chat. Somebody who's a pro at this will help you out, okay, for your particular scenario. But let me give you the scenario. If you have a person whose BOD is coming up for renewal in May or in June and they want in on Fire and Flow, what I have them do is I have people cancel their Beachbody On Demand subscription and whatever supplement they're going to want to renew with, right? And then from there, when we go to create their pack, I'm going to get them a new year of Beachbody On Demand plus the supplement, and it's going to save them so much money versus paying a la carte for Fire and Flow, a la carte for Beachbody On Demand for another year, a la carte for their Shakeology for the month, right? So once a year, this is your like hack. Figure out when your renewal is coming up because you can always probably do this with a launch too. But that's kind of like the money saving hack that I do for people whenever their BOD is coming up for renewal. Okay. I'm sure that somebody can answer Leah's question because I'm going to go back and share the screen while y'all look at that. Okay. Let's keep moving and grooving. So there's 3 steps, and we're going to keep it super simple, you guys. You've probably heard me, if you've been here longer than 30 seconds, say that coaching is simple. It's 3 things: being on your journey, sharing your journey, and inviting others to start their journey. That's it. When I take away all the fluff, when I take away these fancy graphics that I'm really proud of today, I'm on my journey, I'm sharing my journey, I'm inviting others to start theirs. Everything else is a squirrel and a shiny object, and I want you to stay focused. Yeah? The thing is, what's crazy, you guys, because I mentor coaches a lot, and it comes up time and time again. Coaches fall in love with being on their journey. That's why you're here. You wouldn't be here if you didn't love Beachbody and love your results and love being on your journey. So I know that about you. You are amazing at your journey. And most all of you are getting comfortable sharing pieces of your journey, whether you're new and just really starting to open up with that, or maybe you've been here a while and you're just trying to continue adding layers of how you show up and share your journey. We're all constantly evolving on social media, getting better at how we share. So I know that about you too. You are a student of how you share your journey. Here's the thing though. Number 3 stops a lot of people: inviting others to start their journey. I see heads shaking because you know I'm talking to you. But what's crazy, you guys, the thing is, the more that I repeat step 3 and successfully get someone to say, you know what, you're right, I want to start my journey, and then I get to help them and walk hand in hand, the more that I repeat that 3rd step, do you know that steps 1 and 2, they become so much stronger, you guys. I become better on my journey because I have people with me, counting on me to show up. I'm better at sharing my journey because I have a community doing it with me. And because I have people now watching me to see, did you show up? I asked Leah in our one-on-one the other day, would it be weird if and you guys can, I'll poll you too. Tell me in the chat. Would it be weird if you came to my social media, if you went to my stories today and you didn't see me work out today or talk about food or healthy or personal growth and development? Would it be weird if you came to my page and I wasn't talking about that today? I'm not going to even open up the chat. I already know your answer. It'd be so strange because what you come to expect of me is that I'm on my journey and I'm sharing my journey, however that looks on a day-to-day basis. So inviting others to start their journey is the glue that keeps me on my journey and continues to help me want to share my journey. Do you understand how that works? So many times I see coaches stop right here under number 2. They love being on their journey. They love sharing it, but they're so resistant about inviting others. And I'm sorry, friends, but you're shooting yourself in the foot because eventually the well is going to run dry on you being on your journey and sharing your journey. And it's just going to become an expensive hobby that gets really old. It's you guys joining. It's the renewed energy that keeps me excited about being on my journey. Trust me, 8.5 years later, you can get bored. 8.5 years later, you can flatline. 8.5 years later, you can be like, wow, this feels like Groundhog's Day. Like it's the same-ish every day. It's you guys that keep it fresh for me. So don't skip step 3. I'm going to talk about before launch day, and I'm going to talk about after launch day / like launch month and beyond, right? But I'm going to take these 3 simple steps and I'm going to tell you some tangible ways that you can really be practicing them before the launch even happens in the next 2 weeks. And then once launch happens, how do we take that over into June? So number 1, being on your journey. Number 1, educate yourself on the program. That's being on your journey. You're a coach. So a coach's job is to know about their toolbox. We now have another tool in our toolbox. Every time I'm talking with a new woman who's ready to join the sisterhood, I have to understand what type of program she's going to fall in love with so that I can help her have success. If I don't educate myself on programs, I will have no clue what to tell somebody. Now, if you're newer here again, my advice is 1 program at a time, right? You're not going to educate yourself on every program, but you have an opportunity right now to educate yourself on this program with us, right? And then slowly over time, just trust in the process that eventually you'll learn more and more and more about other programs, right? But for right now, let's focus on this. A couple of resources you can use. The Beachbody Champions Takeover Week. So if you're on Facebook, the Beachbody Champions is a Facebook page or a Facebook group that you can join. And they're doing a takeover week over there all week long. Again, the Vimeo Fire and Flow training that I shared with you in the collab guide, money. It's going to be gold for you. And then any launch prep that I add from now all the way through the launch, gold. Educate yourself using that. Try the sample workout. Being on your journey, again, means trying new things. So try the sample workout. You guys, Kristen, I was blown away when I watched her stories today. She's in a season where she can't focus on intense workouts or anything like that because she's like rehabilitating her back, her shoulder, all the things, right? So walking and the prescribed stretches and like rehab from her chiro, that's all she's got. Do you know that you can make a calendar out of that? As a fitness coach, you get to pick your plan. So even though she's not on a plan that she would, print off from Beachbody, she's on a plan. She's on Kristen's plan. It's prescribed. It's what she needs. It's what her body needs. But do you know that today, when we were all doing the sample workout, Homegirl pressed play on the sample workout and watched it while she did her prescribed stretches and whatnot. Now that's some dedication, you guys. That's a no excuse mentality. Because I know that a lot of you have probably already called yourself or counted yourself out of Fire and Flow for whatever reason. But does that mean you have to count yourself out of educating yourself? Right? Like, how inspiring is Kristen right now for us? Like, I watched that and I was like, are you for real right now? Like, I don't even know if I would have done that, truthfully. If I'm being authentic with you guys tonight, right? I like to be real with everybody. I don't even know if I would have thought to do that, because I think I would have got so down in myself that like, oh, I can't do this, so woe is me. That's where I would have gone. But instead, she was like, no, I'm going to take ownership of what I can do. So all of us can be on our journey by educating ourselves in some capacity. Using the prep calendar too. Hey, I forgot to tell you guys about this 3-step launch plan. This is also on the collab, but this is something you should also print off, and this will help you to kind of have a grip on the product training, as well as like a flow of suggested ways to post and advertise as we're leading up to and through the launch. This is gold. It's given to us by Beachbody. You guys, when I started as a coach, things like this didn't exist, right? Like, I'm going to tell you, I walked uphill both ways in the snow, right? Like, come on now. Beachbody just like literally hands us things on a platter. But you got to follow it and you got to do it, right? The other thing is the prep calendar. I've printed mine off. If you've hung around me again for long enough, you know I'll brainwash you into buying a $5 frame from Target, print it off, put it in the frame, and then you dry erase marker, check off your workouts. And it's so gratifying. It feels so good to check off your workouts, but it's also fun and fancy to show people your little workout calendar. And the fun part is, you guys, every time I take this off the back, do you know I don't throw mine away? I keep them in the back. So every time, yeah, right, Kristen? So every time I take this off, it's like me high-fiving myself, like, look at all the calendars you've completed, and every time I'm like, wow, that's so cool. So I don't know, at some point I probably won't be able to close it because it'll be so thick and I'll have to like reevaluate. But for now, it's just, I just get so proud when I look at all the completion I've given myself over the years, So that's being on your journey. Let's talk about sharing your journey before launch day. Oh, back to the sample workout for a second. You don't just have to do it today and once. That's something you can come back to and repeat. Yes. So just because you, like, let's say you did it today and you shared it today, y'all, nobody cares. Like, no one even remembers. By tomorrow, they will not remember that you did the same. You have to be a broken record. So I encourage you to at least do it multiple times between now and the launch. Okay, now on to sharing your journey. So I want you to commit to sharing anything that's connected to Fire and Flow. Anything. Okay, so this calendar is connected to Fire and Flow. I'm going to talk about it. This call is connected to Fire and Flow. You can talk about it. This, when I look at, maybe I'm not doing Fire and Flow right now, but I'm doing the prep calendar. So maybe I'm doing a Jericho workout. So on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I can kind of talk about Jericho. Maybe then on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I really talk about Elise. And so every time I do this, I'm breadcrumbing and sharing anything connected to Fire and Flow. If you are, let's say someone fills out your newsletter and you're like, newsletter, what are you talking, or not newsletter, your Google form. If you're like, Google form, what are you talking about? Go to the collab. I gave you a copy of the form to create for yourself. But anytime somebody fills that out, like, why not share? Like, oh my gosh, I'm so pumped for Becky. Becky's getting information on our VIP, right? Like, you can share anything that's connected to Fire and Flow. Think beyond just the trainers and the actual workouts though. What are some other pain points that Fire and Flow is helping with. So maybe your morning routine has helped ground you in your mindset, or maybe you felt like your mindset lately has just been a little off, right? That feeling of stress and burnout and just wearing too many hats and that myth of balance, right? And you're trying to find some alignment with things that matter to you. And so maybe that's a pain point of your own story that you can share with other people on your stories and why you're committing to your morning routine. I want to know really quick in the chat, is there a habit lately that that you know is not serving you, but yet you feel like you've fallen back into a habit that you have figured out how to get out of, but now you're kind of back in it? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Am I the only one? Are there habits that you know recently, you know it's not serving you, but you keep repeating it and you're kind of at a point where you want to change? What habits are they? Share them with me in the chat. For work, for home life, Leah's not cutting off work at a certain time. You know what's going to throw you out of alignment real quick is when you don't cut off work when you're supposed to, right? And then your family doesn't get your time, and then you're tired. And then some of my nutrition, scrolling during my lunch, sleep. I don't sleep like I should. Nutrition, hitting snooze and that morning rush, sleep. These are opportunities, you guys. Number one, I'm going to talk to you guys as like mentor to coach kind of situation. These are that thing that you know that's not serving you. Notice how I didn't say a bad habit. Okay. And if you're in the sisterhood, you're going to hear me talk about this a lot in May, but notice how I'm not saying good versus bad, because when we start to label food as good and food as bad and habits as good and habits as bad, we start to have this like positive, negative connotation with it, where you are good when you eat a good food, or you are bad when you eat a bad food. You are good when you do a good habit, but you are bad when you do a bad habit. And I want to tell you right now that that's a dirty, stinking lie. I want you to start thinking about habits and foods really, and I'm sure you could take this over into other areas, as either serving your best self or not. And so think about the habits that are not serving your best self. The longer you keep repeating that, the harder it's going to be to break it. And we know this, right? So I'm kind of doing a little gut check with you guys, a little off topic of Fire and Flow. I want you to like go into your own journey. I'm doing this on purpose because I'm not just advertising a program. I'm advertising a solution to a problem I'm experiencing. And so what's the problem that Fire and Flow could help alleviate? Maybe it really is out of alignment. You know what? My sleep is out of alignment. And part of that could be that your cortisol levels are so high from the stress of mom, from the stress of work, from the stress of all your HIIT, high intensity cardio, right? Workouts, that your body is constantly elevated. And so when the lights go off at night, your brain's not going to shut down because it thinks it's in fight or flight mode. That's real, y'all. That's hormones. And if your hormones, cortisol is a hormone. If your hormones are constantly elevated and they never have time to come down, like Fire and Flow is going to help us with, absolutely your sleep's affected. Absolutely. And so burnout, stress, tired, not caring for you, I want to turn all of that for people into renewed energy and confidence. For me, that's what I want to do. I want to turn all that into something different. So what is it you're experiencing and what do you want to turn it into? What feeling do you want to come out of this program with? What feeling do you want your people to come out with? That's how you share your journey. You don't just share a workout and say, well, sample workout, loved it. Fire, flow. No one knows what the freak you're talking about, my friends, right? Because they're not in the Beachbody lingo. We are. But you know what they do know? I'm having trouble sleeping because I think I'm just going too much, and it's burning me out. And you know what? This June, I'm going to change that. I'm going to put a little balance back into my routine. Yeah. So the other thing to consider is, are you pairing this with a nutrition program? 4-week gut protocol. It's a 4-week long program, 4-week gut protocol. It's not a super intense workout that I don't think you could pair gut protocol with it on the nutrition end of things, in terms of like, I don't think you would be malnourished, like not have enough calories, right? But can you? Do you want to pair it with 4-week gut protocol? That's an option. So as you're kind of game planning, think about that aspect too. What are you doing in the kitchen to care for you as well? Basically, what I'm trying to say though is how I share my journey. It starts with me making a plan that I'm excited about. And then I'm doing that with people. I make a plan and I do it with people. Yeah. Grace says hi. All right. Third part of this, before launch day, we have to invite others to start their own. You're like, but Brittany, it's not here. How can I invite somebody? Guess what is here? The sample workout. Yeah. So I want you to write down right now, figure it out, pinpoint a number. What's your launch goal number? On the day it launches on May 24th, what is your goal? How many people do you want to join your team? How many people do you want to join you doing Fire and Flow? What's your goal number? Figure it out, put it in the chat. 5, 6, 8, 2, 5. There's no right or wrong number, by the way. 2, 4. I love it. Know your number. That's your number. There wasn't like a magical, come here, Grace. There wasn't like a magical answer of like, you should have 3 to 5 people, right? I want you to know what's important to you and why. Why is 2 important? What does that mean? Why is 4 important? Why is 5 important? Okay. Because you've got to know what you're aiming for, but you also need to know why you're aiming for that. If the answer is, well, because Brittany said that I should hit Success Club, that's a terrible answer. And don't put me on me, right? Like, don't do that to me. I want your launch goal number to be something that you're like, man, this is how many people I'd love to help get results. This is how many people I'd love to walk hand in hand with. This is how many people I can actually manage, right? Because imagine you have those people that join you and they need your help now. Do you have space to manage the number you said? And whatever your goal number is, it starts now. That number starts now. It doesn't, on launch day, you're not like, okay, pray to the gods of launch day that people will fall from the sky. No, that starts now. So some simple ways to invite right now. Share the sample workout. Okay, we've got that Vimeo link. It's officially available. Share it. Soft invites. I've given you guys some newsletter options for if you have a customer base. But as you get people's emails and stuff, when they want more information, you ask for an email. That's how I build my newsletter list, you guys, 1 email at a time. Okay. So that when I have launches like this, I have people I can send stuff to. That's why I capture emails. So soft invites via newsletter where I'm sharing what's coming. And then there's a button or a link for them to, click if they're interested in more info and to keep them in the loop. You can do one-on-one reach outs to customers, coaches, PCs, people who are currently at your table. If you're newer or don't have as many people via email or via the one-on-one customer coach reach outs, then you're going to create a dream team list like Kristen taught us when we talked about the gut protocol launch. And if you missed that call, go back on my YouTube a little bit and find Kristen's gut protocol, like launch best practices, because it's so relevant for this. Everything she taught us about how to create a dream team list and reach out, you can absolutely use for any launch, including this one. Ask for feedback on Facebook. You can post, hey, I'm looking for 10 women who are feeling really burnt out right now to test out a workout that's hopefully going to bring some balance back to your routine. I'm sure every burnt out woman's going to be like, me, please, God help me. Whatever you've got, I'll take it, right? So ask for feedback in return. Okay, same thing applies. When you see people watching your stories of your sample workout from today or this week, you can reach out to them in a one-on-one message and thank them for following your journey. Thank them for the support and then say, hey, I'd love your feedback. Would you mind if I send you this sample workout that I just did and, in return for your honest opinion? And that's it. And then you figure out, okay, they're going to do the workout on Friday, because I always want to know, like, when will they have time to do it so that I can check back in. So they say, oh, I'll do it on Friday. Cool. I'll check back in over the weekend and see what you thought. And then I'm going to check back in with them. Okay. Tell me about it. And a lot of times, like, some people will come back and they will be so excited about what they just did that you're like, here we go. You are going to do this with me. And then all you have to do is just ride that excitement until launch day, right? You could run a free mini challenge. I'm running one called Renew Your Confidence right now. And it truly is just a mini challenge that is going to utilize the sample workout. It's going to take them like a little sneak peek of like what it's like to be in my VIP sisterhood. And then at the end of the 5 days, I'm going to, you know, put a call to action for people to join me with Fire and Flow. If they loved this week and they want more, here's how to do it, right? And so consider maybe running or teaming up with some people to run a little mini challenge. Those are all options before launch day. So we don't want to wait till launch to take action. There's so much you can do on your journey. There's so much you can do with sharing your journey. And there's so many opportunities to invite others to start with you, even though they can't get their hands on the pack today. In fact, sometimes I feel like that builds even more excitement because they're like, oh my God, like I want this program and it's not here yet, right? So you can ride that excitement and that FOMO. Let's talk about after launch day. Same thing, 3 things: be on your journey, share your journey, invite others to start their own. So being on your journey, it starts with me. It starts with me. The best way to learn and speak about a program is to do it and experience it yourself. So commit to starting and finishing Fire and Flow and commit to getting the best results as possible, right? It's your results. It is your journey that's going to inspire somebody to say yes to their own, okay? And if the disconnect is people don't want to join you, maybe you're not giving them enough proof of what's possible. Let that soak in. If you're having a hard time getting people to want to join you or get information about what you have to offer, maybe they don't see the proof of what's possible yet. Maybe this could be the program that changes that for you. And like I said, pro tips, whatever supplement you need to renew this month, be sure to cancel out your HD so that you can, when the launch day comes, you can order Fire and Flow with that supplement. Okay, sharing your journey. What do we do after launch day? Well, a couple things. Right when it launches, I love showing people that I purchased because they've been watching all these 2 weeks. So on launch day, I am going to act like everybody joined me and you're the only one that didn't. Even if that's a dirty, stinking lie, I will make my social media look like everyone joined me except for you. You missed out, right? Walk us through your prep like all week. So we're going to be doing prep week, the week of launch, May 23rd. We're going to start prep week. And so how are you prepping? You know, like as simple as like you guys telling people that I printed off this calendar and put it in here and I'm following it. That might sound silly to some of you guys because it's so routine and habitual. But do you know that there's a lot of people that don't do this? And so when I can just give somebody a simple tool that I use, all of my people have access to this calendar. If you work with me, you get this calendar. And this is how I'm prepping, right? Maybe some of your prep includes, unboxing your kit when it arrives. That could be part of your prep. Talking about the journal that it came with. Yeah. Telling us why you're excited, why you need this now. Why did you say yes? Again, remember, you didn't say yes because of Jericho and Elise, and maybe at first surface level, yes, but like dig a layer deeper, go to the feeling. What are you trying to come out on the other side feeling like? Why does this program make you think that that's possible, right? Continue reminding others they can do this with you. Every day, there should be a call to action on some story in some way. If you do a sample workout today, and you don't have a call to action on it, the next time you do that sample workout, I want you to put an opportunity for them to click a link to fill out for more information, a poll for them to say whether they want the sample or, by the way, when you do polls, pro tip, 2 positives. So if you're asking like, do you want the sample workout? Don't put yes and no, because then when people say no, it hurts your feelings, right? Like we don't want our feelings hurt. Come on now. So so you know how I protect my heart? I put 2 positives. So no one even has a chance to tell me that they don't want my stupid link. Okay, Karen, you can get out of my Instagram stories. All right. With your negative attitude. All right. But I put 2 positives. So same thing. Like if you're looking for, do people want to try this workout out? I've got the sample link. Yes. Yes. Okay. Sharing your results weekly. Once you start the journey, share them weekly to be proof of the product. Take before videos. And a few different options for reels later. So if you're like, I want to do you see them, you're like, oh gosh, I love that transformation reel. Like I should have done that, and you're kicking yourself. This is your time where you get to do that, right? Exactly, Kristen, right? We're going to beat some sense into ourselves here. Okay. Take those before videos, do a couple different options. All right. You're going to want them. So save them and then make them as like a little draft. Okay. And then how do we invite others to start their own after launch day happens? Well, just remember that customer launch is June 7th, right? So keep inviting. Did I say that date right? I feel like I did, but I didn't spot check myself on that. If I did that wrong, put it in the chat. But don't forget that customer launch is after the coach launch. So you still have an opportunity to bring new people in to do fire and flow. Okay. And like, you know, guys, I'm not an early adopter of like anything other than Beachbody programs. But like this phone, for example, this phone took me a long time to upgrade and get the new iPhone. There's probably even newer ones now. I'm not the person that camps out at the Apple store waiting for the very first iPhone edition of the next whatever to be dropped so I can be the early adopter. Okay. It's just not me. It's just not what I do. There are a lot of people who are like that with our programs. They're not going to buy it from you until they see if it works. So you get to be the inspiration they need to say yes. So if for some reason, after you follow all of my pro tips for before the launch date, and you're like, I really went all in, Britt, and I still didn't have anybody join me. Number one, we're going to really talk about what all in means to you. But number two, I'm going to suggest that maybe people are waiting to see if it actually works. And so now it's your chance. If you come past launch day and you didn't have anybody enroll with you 2 weeks from now, cool. That's your ammunition to say, now watch me, right? That for me, a lot of times my ammunition becomes like that aspect of, I'm not going to let somebody see me not do this, right? And so that becomes it propels me forward, if you will. Okay, so that's it, you guys. It's literally that simple. Being on your journey, sharing your journey, inviting others to start. This area you're constantly evolving in and getting better in. So I'm encouraging you to stretch yourself. However you have been sharing, what can you do that's maybe a little bit of a higher level, right? Maybe you haven't been putting polls or links on your stories. Maybe this is your opportunity to do that. Okay, maybe you've only been showing the workout, but you haven't been talking about what you're eating or how you're meal planning, or maybe you haven't been talking about your mindset and your journaling. And so this is an opportunity to bring people into more of your wellness journey. Okay, maybe you haven't been sleeping well, like a lot of you shared with me. Have you talked about that with your people? Your people want to know that. They want to know where you're struggling, because when they see that you're struggling, all of a sudden they don't feel alone anymore. We're all struggling. Everyone has an area of struggle. And so that's what people are waiting to hear. It's like, is this person like so perfect that they don't have anything wrong with them? So do not feel like you need to only come to social media to share the shiny parts of your journey, all of it. The ups, the downs. Okay. This morning, I didn't want to get out of bed. Didn't feel like it. I came on my stories and I talked about it. Yeah. And then the disconnect for a lot of people is that actual invitation. Right now, you guys, you have such an easy hook to invite people because you have the sample workout link. So utilize it. I freaking triple dog dare you to send it to at least 100 people this week and ask for feedback. Like I freaking dare you. Right. All right. Q&A. Does anybody have questions for me or for us? Hold on. I see some here. How do I keep the excitement going for someone who tries the workout this week and loves it, but can't join until the 24th because none of us can, right? How do I keep them from talking themselves out of it? Okay. I'm going to do a little you on you. What if they're talking themselves out of it because you're already talking themselves out of it? Do you believe that they are excited and that they're ready to join and that they're excited for the 24th? Or are you waiting for them to talk themselves out of it? Because sometimes I think we manifest what someone else is going to do just by the way we interact with them. If I have somebody right now who is excited for Fire and Flow, my natural next step is to make sure that they've done the sample workout. So everybody that's filled out my link telling me that they're interested in Fire and Flow, I'm going to be checking in with them today, tomorrow, top of this week. And I'm going to be making sure that if they haven't tried it yet, when are they trying it? I want to know when they're trying it. The second that they've tried it, I want to know what they thought, right? I want to make sure that I know what they thought of that workout. And if their excitement is still high at that point, which it should be, because it was a pretty freaking awesome workout. I'm not going to lie. I loved it. From there, we're going to, okay, talk to me. I'm like so stinking pumped. We've got like 2 weeks, but in the meantime, I want to get like some things prepped. My energy is going to be so high for that person. And we're going to figure out what supplement they want. We're going to figure out what flavors they want. And I'm just going to continue to like come at them with excitement about it in the meantime, in the downtime, give them value, make them feel seen, right? If I come in and it's only about a transaction, I think that's where people run away. But if they know that I'm about to go on a freaking journey with them and I'm like, okay, here's the sample, here's the sample prep calendar, right? Like, and I keep giving value. Hey, in the meantime, I've got a free group that we're doing, right? I keep giving them value and keep them interested. I don't think people are gonna, in the meantime, talk themselves out of it, right? Let me scroll back up, see if there were any other questions. If you've got questions, guys, drop them in the chat. All right, I think those got answered up top. Love it. All right, it doesn't look like checking in every day. No, because you don't want to be like a psycho, right, y'all? Like, let's be real. Like, checking in every day, it's just different. It's different. Okay, if it's I'll say Christine. Christine is in my sisterhood. She wants to do fire and flow. She's already a PC, so she's already set. You know, she's good. Okay. With Christine, I'm going to make sure that she's really taken care of in the sisterhood. I'm going to make sure that I'm reaching. It's not going to be every day. No, I think that you're overthinking this. I think that you have to start thinking about how would you deal or talk to this person if they were your real life best friend? Like, a lot of time, again, it's not transactional. So I'm not like, okay, every day I got to knock on this person's door because I'm so afraid I'm going to lose them. That's when that person's like, whoa, red flag. Like, this person's really needy. Are you really needy? No, you don't. Do you need these people, you guys, to join you? No, ma'am, you do not need anyone to join you. Would it be nice for them to join you? Absolutely. Do they need you? Yes, they need you. They need this group, right? So I want you to flip your script on that and stop being so needy about needing people to join you, and let people know that you have something that they need. So if you're constantly checking in with somebody, you become needy, and that becomes off-putting for people. Does that make sense? Yeah. Leah, I want you to dig into that a little bit, because it sounds like you think. I think that's coming from you, and maybe some things we got to peel back about that, right? About the process of someone talking themselves out of it. I don't think that that's accurate, because I got plenty of people right now who are really excited about it, and who, because there's 2 weeks to spare, we're making plans and preparations during that time. It's like, I don't know, let me make this like a Christmas analogy. If 2 weeks before Christmas, you knew that there's a present under the tree for you, right? And you're like really excited, like, oh, there's a present under the tree for me. And then Christmas Day comes, you're like, you know what? I shouldn't open it. It's been too long. I'm not interested anymore. No, you'd open the stupid present because there's excitement and there's energy about it, right? So this is a present that you are like, this is Christmas Day. I want you to treat launch like Christmas stinking day, you guys, and everything leading up to it as like sprinkling the excitement, right? About what's coming versus, you know, I don't know any other way to put it, but I think it's your excitement and your energy that's going to either keep somebody around or make them decide that they don't want to be a part of this anymore. Any other questions, y'all? I'm going to stop being a dead horse with that one. All right, awesome. Well, that's it from me tonight, you guys. Sample workouts out. Make sure that you're getting that in hands of people. Like I said, make that dream team list. Think of people in your life, friends, family, anyone in your like circle growing up or high school, college, like people that you know from real life. I'm especially talking to my newer coaches right now, right? That you know would freaking love doing this with you, and just start reaching out and letting them know, hey man, I've got this new program coming out. It's going to be the very first, like, It's going to be the first program that I'm actually doing as a coach. I just started doing this coaching thing, and man, I don't know what I'm freaking doing, but I'd stinking love to have you do it with me. Right? Would you dive into this program with me? Yeah. So